Hey guys, how are you today? I hope your Sunday's fantastic. Hey look, we are running out of stock in our fridge, freezer, pantry and everything, and our online order arrives tomorrow, so which is perfect. But I was like, what am I going to feed the kids for a late lunch? We've had a very, different morning this morning, being Easter Sunday. We've had biscuit cooking and biscuit decorating, and we've had hash browns for breakfast, potato and sweet potato ones, and just different stuff to normal. So they're not dying of hunger yet, even though it's 1:30, but I'm mindful of the time, and soon they will be. So I've had a few requests lately for bread, just your basic bread, and tips to make your most amazing bread. This is a great recipe. Now you do have to think bread, how much flour, how big's my tin? That's the kind of, before you start, what are you cooking it in? Because this is going to determine how much mix you have to make and which recipe to follow, or how to kind of adjust it. So I'll talk you through this today. If you're on, do say hi, and if you've made bread and you've got a favourite recipe, I'd love to know it as well. So let's get cooking. First things first is it says grease a loaf tin. So I've got my really massive big one. It used to be in the mix shop. I don't think they're in the mix shop at the moment. I think they're out of stock. It's awesome. It's like a full loaf size. But it means I need 600 grams of flour, which I'm hoping I've got enough of today, because I'm on the ends of that as well. That's coming on the order. Okay, first things first is our liquid. So 300 grams of water. Now mine's actually going to be warm because I just did the washing up and I had hot water in the tap. So if there is a heat up step, which I can't remember, it's been a while. Normally you guys know we do gluten-free most of the time. This is a rarity to be not doing a gluten-free loaf. So even yesterday's buckwheat loaf, which by the way doesn't get past lunch, that's all gone at lunchtime, it was gluten-free. Okay, 2 teaspoons of yeast. Keep your yeast in the fridge or freezer. You've heard me say that before. It doesn't like changes of temperature, and usually the container tells you that. You'll find most bread recipes call for 2 teaspoons, which is also one of those little sachets of vacuum sealed stuff. Okay, 1 teaspoon of sugar. I am going to put that in today, only because it is 2 things. Number one, I wanted to do... Where's my sugar gone? I wanted to actually do this recipe that is quite quickly, and the yeast will help that... Sorry, the sugar will help the yeast bloom. So normally I wouldn't be putting sugar in my bread. But today, a bit of a hurry for it, so in that goes. It will just feed that yeast. Okay, on with the lid, and normally it would heat it up to 37 degrees. As I mentioned, my water was slightly warm. Not too warm though. If it's too warm, if it's over 40 degrees, it will kill your yeast. Alright, same with yogurt cultures. They don't cope with over 40 degrees. So it's just warm, it's just taken the heat off that, the chill of the water. Hello Carissa, hello Lady Anne, and hello Kylie. No, Kelly. I can't read today. Sorry, guys. I need to get you guys back up on my big screen. At the moment, you're on the little side screen, and I can't see it as easily, even with glasses on. Okay, 20 grams of grapeseed oil. I always use olive oil in my bread, but completely up to you. It's kind of no right and wrong. Yeah, obviously, though, the stronger the oil, the more the flavour will shine through your bread. Okay, 600 grams of baker's flour. Baker's flour, you've heard me say it before and I'll say it again, it's hugely important. You cannot trade baker's flour for plain flour in breads. You will get 3/4 of a rise, you won't get a full rise. So your loaf, instead of being a square loaf, when you cut it, will only be 3/4 height. The experiment has been done many of the times over the years, and that is your outcome. Your baker's flour has more protein. Now I am going to top this up with my leftovers, which is, let me just decant it in. It's actually, I don't actually know, to be honest, what's now in this container. I have used it so much lately. This could actually be gluten-free, but it probably doesn't matter. I just want to put some aside for later. All right. Bit here, a bit there. Hopefully it's a bit later left over, because sometimes you do need to add a bit more later. Okay, 2 teaspoons of salt. In with the salt. Now you need the salt. Don't be thinking, I'll just cut through that. I'll just cut that down because it's so much. No, it needs to cut through the flavour of flour. Otherwise you'll just feel like you're eating plain flour. Okay, that taste on your tongue, not nice. Okay, 2 teaspoons of bread improver. I don't use bread improver. It's an artificial product. It's treated. Have a Google and see what you reckon, whether you want to use it in your food or not. Instead, I use apple cider vinegar, and it's just 2 teaspoons. Okay, you can't taste the flavour. You don't taste vinegar at the end, but it's the natural version of it. If you don't have apple cider vinegar, you can use just normal vinegar will work as well. Okay, I forgot to bring my lid in. It's still in the washing up sink. I'm going to use my vanilla lid from earlier. I made vanilla this morning. It's been a busy morning. Okay, 6 minutes kneading function. See, look, I've still got my dirty vanilla bowl there. I'm going to make something with it. I think I'm going to make a drink or something, maybe an iced coffee later for hubby. He's actually painting walls now that it's too wet in Brizzy. The kids and him are out there bobbing and then sanding and painting. So lots of fun in our house. Now you will notice this is quite a long knead time. Reason being is it is a bigger loaf. The more you knead it, the fluffier it gets and the lighter it gets. You'll also notice that this was meant to put it for an hour and a half, and then normally it says put it back in the machine and knead again for 30 seconds. Now that will make a lighter result, but I don't have time for that today. So I'm going to show you today the shortcut to an amazing loaf of bread. So let's get this going. Now you do need to have your awesome bread tray. I'm just going to wiggle you guys sideways a little bit. There we go. Let's get this up here. Just wait for this kneading. Now never walk away while your Thermomix is kneading, remember? Otherwise it might walk off your bench, which is not a great outcome. Do not want any walking off benches. It's coming together beautifully in there. It's going to have a slight vanilla flavour. I don't know what, I don't think it does matter too much. Now to wait. So I'd love to know, those of you watching on, what are you making today? Do you have something on the menu at your place? Are you cooking up your leftover Easter eggs? They make perfect chocolate hot cross buns. Use your Easter eggs in those. Otherwise, break them up and put them through ice cream. Amazing. Okay? Absolutely amazing to make your own ice cream with your leftover Easter eggs smashed through it. I would highly suggest doing that. It's looking absolutely amazing in there. All right, I'm going to go grab my oven mat. I'm going to come back because I want to show you in a second what to do with this dough. Give me 1 moment. Your comment about your hot cross buns going hard from yesterday. 2 options. You can either zap them in a microwave or oven, I suppose, or slice them up and make bread and butter pudding from them. It is amazing. Bread and butter pudding from hot cross buns, next level, okay? But yes, what happens is often if we eat them warm, as soon as we crack one off the side, it actually lets the air get into your dough, into the insides, and it dries it out really quick. So it's definitely worth leaving it to cool together. Or, as I said, the microwave, zap them, they'll come back so soft. Put it in the oven. If you're going to put them in the oven, I tend to slice them and put butter in them so it kind of melts and softens because the oven will dry it out further otherwise. But yeah, otherwise recycle them. They are beautiful recycled. Okay, I'm going to stop that because... Did I stop it? I did stop it. I'm going to show you what to do with them. So if you're at home, obviously leave it go the full time. You'll be going and doing other stuff, but don't go too far because your Thermomix is kneading. We do not need your Thermomix on the floor. Okay, so I'm going to those stop because I want to show you... Oh, thermo server there. I'm going to show you guys what to do with the dough. So I've just got my mat. This is my oven mat here. I just want to show you how to treat this dough. So first things first, little thing out the bottom here. Oh, you left them together. How odd. There you go. Well, I guess bread and butter pudding it is then. All right, look at that. I love it when most of the dough comes out in one go. See that? So, let's... By the way, if you want to make a fruit loaf, use your hot cross bun recipe, but turn it into just what I'm doing today. Amazing as well. Okay? Okay, there we go. That is like sparkly, ready to go again. Alrighty, so the perfect loaf. We're going to push this together. You can use your hands. I can use my hands too. And we're going to actually divide it into 3 balls. Now you'll notice the dough is really quite tense. Now if you've got time, you can do a double prove. or do what the recipe says. The recipe actually says to leave it sit for an hour and a half, put it back in, it kneads it for 30 seconds, and then you shape it and you cook it. But I don't have that amount of time today. So I'm going to show you how to do this. I'm going to divide this into three clumps, and then I'm going to pretend they're big bread rolls. So I'm doing my usual technique. I'm going to fold my points in behind, fold the points, turn it and fold the points, and then we're just stretching the dough around and we're pushing it behind. Let me come stand beside you so you guys can see what's happening with my hands. Stretch, push, push. So we're going to end up with a nice smooth top. So this is like an oversized bread roll is what I've got here. Okay, there's my oversized bread roll, and then I'm going to dump it in the end of my bread tin. Give them a push down. Then I'm going to get my next bit, which for some reason is a bit smaller, this bit, but doesn't matter. Okay, ends together, and we just stretch it around. And this is the same technique for little bread rolls. If you're making little bread rolls, you guys have seen me do this before, but obviously big bread rolls instead for today. In there, push it down, and then last one. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to be covering this and putting it in a warm spot. So my oven, thankfully, has a 40 degree on it. So I'm just going to put it on the 40 degrees. So that will help it proof faster. Probably give it 45 minutes, probably half an hour. I'll check it, but I reckon it will take 45 minutes. And let me just show you what they look like in there. Look at that. Oh, they're sliding. So spit them back out. And I want these to double in size. My goal is that they'll actually double. And when they double, at the moment they're about that high. So I'm hoping to get to kind of there, about 2 centimeters from the top of my tin. Maybe even a centimeter would be ideal. Depends how patient I am. Okay, so lid on, well, not lid on, what's this called? Thermomat over the top. And I'll just talk to you about what the recipe says to do though. I'm going to put this in the oven on 40 degrees and let it sit until it's risen up. All right, so I am doing it different to the recipe because I want to use it today, and my kids would devour the whole lot today. If you do want it to leave till tomorrow, then remember do the second knead, okay, because that'll make it lighter and fluffier. So it says transfer the dough to a bowl and cover. Leave to prove for an hour and a half till it's doubled in size. Proved dough back into the machine and knead it for 30 seconds. So that actually won't take too long to knead. And then transfer the dough into a loaf tin, brush with a little water and sprinkle with sesame seeds. So depending on where we're at that point in time will depend if I actually do that step. And then it says to prove again for at least 3 hours. So you are going to be making this in the morning if you want it for lunchtime, okay? Because now we've got, 4.5 hours on that. And then bake it for 25 to 30 minutes at 200 degrees until it sounds hollow. All right, so that's how you would finish it if you want that really light, fluffy loaf for, say, lunchtime. I am going to now go put this in my 40-degree oven, and I will show you pictures at the end when it comes out the oven. I might, if I get a chance, I will dust it with water and sesame seeds. We'll see how we go though, but I'll show you my final product at the end, and hopefully it's 3 little lumps in there, like the perfect bakery loaf. All right, guys, have a fantastic day. Let me know if I can help you with anything regarding your Thermomix. Enjoy the videos and go back and check out other ones, especially if you are into breads and tips for breads. You'll find lots of recipes there to choose from. Take care, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye for now.